It was a little hard for me to go back and watch this. Man. What's up, YouTube? I'm just an average guy chasing a big dream to become a stand-up comedian. And in this video, I'm gonna be reacting to week 22 of my open mic performance. Let's see how it went. Hello, Al's Den. So, today's actually my 1-year anniversary of having a gym membership, everyone. Yeah. Thank you. I haven't gone yet, but I'm a member. I actually did just start going to gain. I already made some gains just after 1 month. I went from 165 pounds to ringworm. I got ringworm. Right on my legs. Disgusting. And that was what made me realize why people have like 50 different bottles in their shower. You know, I used to think they were collecting shampoo. Now I know they're just collecting symptoms. That's all that is. One of my friends looked at my shower, he was like, "Oh dude, I didn't know you were into tea tree oil." I was like, "Yeah, now that I'm infected." In the same way that if I ever get stung by a jellyfish, I'll be a huge fan of someone peeing on me. Not normally, but if I get stung, shower me. All right, shower me. Then I saw my naturopath, and he said that I got ringworm because I had a yeast infection. Hey, guys can get them too, all right, sir? And he said I needed to get rid of my 3 favorite things: carbs, sugar, and alcohol. It was a really tough decision, you guys, but I stopped seeing that naturopath, so I chose denial. I have a friend who blames all of his problems on vitamin deficiencies. He backed over a plant in my driveway and goes, "Sorry, low on potassium." I didn't give him a banana, but I told him where he could shove one. Yeah, right up that assium. Do you guys think, like, how far does that excuse go? Could anyone get out of a speeding ticket with it? Like, "Sorry, officer, low on potassium." Oh, well. Obviously, have a nice day. You're free to go. Yeah, I think, you know what, I have these weird health problems, but what scares me the most about aging is how bad my knees are already. Like, I'm 31, and I have Rice Krispie knees. Because every time I bend down, they snap, crackle, and pop. You know? In fact, just like the cereal, if you put your ear up real close, you can hear them scream. At this point, I'm already looking on the bright side of my future prosthetic legs. I mean, hey, I can't get ringworm. Huh? Keep it going for your hosts, everyone. Thank you. That was a tough one. Jeez. Got a frog in my throat. I think some of the early jokes were saved by my friend Chris, who you could hear laughing right next to the camera. Thanks for that, Chris. I really needed those laughs. Yeah, the crowd was pretty cold that night. Overall, didn't go great, but it went okay. There were definitely a couple laughters here and there. But I really felt the crowd this night felt very restrained. You can see there's a whole room of people, but unless you were an absolute killer, getting laughs was tough this night. Yeah, it was a little hard to watch. It was a little hard for me to go back and watch this. Man, comedy's tough. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Why couldn't I have any other dream in the world, you know? Like doing the pogo stick. That'd be fun. You know, the worst that happens there is I ram it into my crotch every once in a while, but that would be easier than going up and doing stand-up. My gosh. So overall, how do I rate this bit? So let's just say it's a 4 out of 10. I think it has a lot of room for improvement, and I think the ideas are good. And while I felt like the audience was a little bit restrained in their laughter, I do still feel like this is a set that could use a lot of work. So what did I learn this week? What did I learn this week? I think what I learned this week is that you want to be as clear as you can with your setups and punchlines. And there were definitely some moments in this set where I had some confusing setups or moments that didn't translate well to the audience, and I see that now watching back. So what I want to do is let's talk about one joke that worked and one joke that didn't work. One joke that worked this week was my first one. It was that I'm celebrating my first year gym membership anniversary. I haven't gone yet, but I'm a member. That was probably the best joke of my set, was the very first one. Then it was all downhill from there. But I think the reason that joke works really well is because it's a basic misdirect, right? You think that I've been going to the gym for a whole year when I've just had the membership. So that word membership is key. Now the joke that didn't work this week was almost all of them. Let's look at two jokes that didn't work, and I'm gonna do this segment called Fix the Bit. This is where I rewrite jokes that I told on stage, and I explain why I change them and why I think they'll work better next time. Let's look at my joke about a friend that uses low potassium as an excuse. By the way, this is a real person, hence where this joke came from. He just blames all of his issues on vitamin deficiencies, and I was like, oh, I have to make fun of this guy. So I just told the true story and then put my little twist on it, right? And while the audience laughed at the idea here, they laughed a little bit after his excuse. Sorry, I'm low on potassium. My laughs after this weren't as hard, and I think there's a couple reasons for that. So let's take a look at the rewrite. I have this health nut friend who blames everything on vitamins. Sorry, I backed over your plant. I'm low on potassium. Don't worry, I gave him a banana and told him where to shove it, right up that assium. Has that excuse ever worked on a cop? Sorry, officer, low on potassium. Oh, why didn't you just say so? Alright, I'll let you off with a warning this time. Just release the hostage. So, I tightened this joke a little bit more than the last one. Another thing you want to be careful about in comedy is negating. In my original version I said I didn't give him a banana, but I told him where to shove it. And by me saying I didn't give him, I'm negating my response here. It's just like an improv. You want to say yes and to whatever the setup is. And so instead of saying I didn't give him a banana, I said I gave him a banana and I told him where to shove it. Comedy doesn't negate. And so I recognized that when I went back and realized that I needed to actually give him the banana in this joke instead of not giving it to him. And then right up the assium is just a funny pun. I hate puns, but that's a good one. And then from here, in my original joke, I built on it by adding the scenario where this guy is using it to get out of a speeding ticket. Now actually, that got a really good laugh the first time I told it, when I did the mime of ripping up the ticket.
Obviously, have a nice day. You're free to go.
But here, it just got crickets. Such a frustrating part of comedy is when one joke will hit really well one night and then not the other night. Am I crazy? Why does that happen? I never know. But I decided that, you know what, this one could use a punch-up anyway, so let's play with ideas. And I just decided that it would be funnier to have a bigger surprise in the end. Because that's what comedy is, right? It's surprise. So I felt like this one needed a bigger surprise, and I put the twist on this guy getting out of the trouble he was in. With that being, he was holding someone ransom. And that's just funny to me because it's way more of an escalation than a speeding ticket. And I also hid the surprise that that's what he's getting out of until the end, right? I didn't say, oh, has that excuse ever worked on a cop, like if you took a hostage? If I just said it like that, that would have ruined the surprise. But because it's the final line to this joke, I think it's gonna work a lot better. So we'll see how these ones do next time with these rewrites. Okay, well that's gonna do it for week 22 and my journey to become a stand-up comedian in just 1 year. Hey, if you guys are chasing a dream, you love comedy, or you just wanna see me bomb, you sick freak, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. I'm a new creator, guys, so it really helps out the channel. Thanks! Toodles!